Good evening and welcome once again to one more of the English is Fun sessions. The topic for today is writing a descriptive paragraph, which means we're going to learn to describe a place, we're going to learn to describe a setting, which brings us to the question, what is a setting? In the last class, we talked about when and where as being the setting of a story. Now, when could mean the time of day. It could be 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. It could be which month the story is set in, for example, January, August, December. It could be which day of the week, maybe Monday, Wednesday. It could be the time of day, whether it's morning, afternoon, dawn, dusk, twilight. We could also be talking about the seasons. Maybe we're talking about the time of the year in terms of spring, summer, fall, etc. Or simply we could be talking about the year in which the story is set. For example, 1912 or 2020. The where of the story could be a place like a country, a city, or a town specifically. It could be on planet Earth. It could be anywhere in the universe, in space, even in an alien planet, maybe underwater. It could be inside or outside. To be more specific, it could be a school, it could be a library in the school, it could be the auditorium, or simply the bedroom or the kitchen in your house. Now, the next thing is to write about the place. Let me give you an exercise. Describe a beautiful garden in about 5 to 6 sentences. You can pause the video at this point and write your own paragraph. But for the benefit of continuity, what I'm going to do is provide you with a previously written paragraph. Let me read the paragraph. The most beautiful garden I have ever seen is the park at the end of my street. It is very well maintained. There is a lovely lawn along the length and breadth of the park. The park has some of the finest exotic flowering plants like orchids and tulips. A walk among the trees amidst this beauty is most satisfying. This experience is exhilarating. Very good. There's nothing wrong. I can't point a finger at any error in this paragraph in terms of grammar or in terms of meaning. But is that it? What we're looking at is to improve the quality of the text. And in descriptive writing, there are two important things, other than a lot of other things that we'll talk about a little later. And these two things are very, very important to be included in descriptive writing when you're talking about describing the setting in a story. One is the use of the 5 senses. Now the 5 senses are the sense of vision, hearing, touch, smell and taste. But being English students, we would like to use different terminology. For hearing, we'd like to use auditory. For smell, we use olfactory. For taste, we use gustatory. For touch or feel, we use tactile. And for vision, we use visual sense. Apart from this, we could also use figures of speech in the text. Some few examples that I've listed over here include the simile, the metaphor, personification, the hyperbole, onomatopoeia, or even alliteration. You could use so many more, but you don't have to use so many. Maybe use of one or a couple would be sufficient. But why am I telling you this when we have a pretty good paragraph? Let's go back to the same paragraph that I read to you a few seconds ago. Have a clean look at the paragraph. Take a minute and comprehend what you have read. You will find that the entire description is based on just one sense, and that is visual. Now, this is a common mistake that we all tend to make when we take up writing. We tend to stick to only one sense. Just imagine the richness of the text that will be if you make use of the other senses as well. I know you might have an argument saying that I cannot use all of the senses in certain contexts. You don't have to. You can use as many as you can and try to throw in one or two figures of speech and then have a look at how the text would turn out. Let me give you an example. This is a sample picture. Look at the picture of the haunted house, and based on that, I've written a paragraph. Let me read this for you. It was freezing, and the sun had set just an hour ago. Darkness was stealthily inching closer. The castle in the middle of nowhere suddenly lit up and shone like a burning sun in midday. The only difference was that it was scary. Bats flew back and forth, flapping their dark wings restlessly. A church bell gonged in the distance. The front door of the deserted castle creaked open. The pungent odor of spoiled eggs filled the air. The damp floor and the gaping cobwebs added to the spooky air. This house must surely be haunted. If you notice in this paragraph, we have used as many senses as we could. Let me break that up for you. Notice when you say it was freezing, we have used the sense of touch, the tactile sense. In the third sentence, when I say the castle in the middle of nowhere suddenly lit up and shone like the burning sun in midday, I have used the visual sense. When I said the front door of the deserted castle creaked open, I've made use of the sense of hearing or the auditory sense. The pungent odor of spoiled eggs filled the air. This is the use of olfactory or the smell sense. And then you have, once again, the damp floor reminding us of touch or feel. So this way you can use the different senses. Now let me go a little deeper into it and show you how I have also incorporated a couple of figures of speech. Notice the sentence, darkness was stealthily inching closer. Here I've made use of personification because I've included darkness and I've said it was stealthily inching closer. You can also call this pathetic fallacy, of course, but in general, you can call it personification. And then I've used the castle in the middle of nowhere suddenly lit up and shone like the burning sun in midday. So this is the use of the simile. So you see, this is how you can incorporate the different senses and you can add in a few figures of speech and improve the quality of your text. Now let's experiment using these points in the first paragraph that we wrote right at the beginning of the video. The paragraph on the left is the original paragraph that we used in the beginning of the video. The paragraph in red to the right is the one which has the inclusions of the figures of speech as well as the different senses. The paragraph goes thus. The park at the end of my street is nothing short of a paradise on earth. You can actually feel the pure, unpolluted air caressing your skin as you close your eyes and take in a deep breath. A pleasant walk along the regularly mowed, velvety green lawn is like a drive along the great ocean road, blissful and satisfying. The vivid colors of the exotic flowers add splendor to the serenity. The pleasant chirping of the birds is music to the ears. No one would want to miss an exhilarating experience like this. And of course, you can have the additional inputs of improving the quality of the adjectives used. You can avoid repetition of sentence structures. You can use better beginning sentences, that is, begin sentences differently. You can vary sentence lengths, and all of this together will go a long way in improving the quality of your descriptive text. I hope these inputs help. So please don't wait. Go ahead, take up a pen and paper and start writing. And you'll see the difference in the way you write. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.